You know, tell me what state and your town and county and everything that you were born in and the date.
Well, I was born in Hastings, Nebraska, Adams County, in the 17th of October, 1903.
Okay, to Fred, what was your dad's middle name?
He didn't have a middle name. It was just Fred Sprenger.
Fred Sprenger. Do you know where he was born? And
Yeah, he was born in Burlington, Iowa, in 1873, December 15th.
1873, December 15th. Burlington, Iowa.
Yeah. And my mother was born in near Saratov, Russia, which is on the Volga. But she was born in a little village called Frank, near Saratov.
Saratov,
Yeah.
Russia.
Yeah. Saradov. They had a special about the Volga in Russia, a National Geographic special here a while back, and it showed that town of Saratov along the Volga.
You know that clipping you gave me had to do with Odessa, Russia, I believe it was.
Well,
You know,
that's
that lady
my dad's
that-
father.
Yeah. Your mother's full name was Anna
Marguerite.
Anna Marguerite
Yeah,
Getman.
yeah.
Gettman.
M-A-N.
So I'm part Russian? No, she's German. She was German.
They were German.
Who lived in Russia.
They were.
You just told me where she was born, right?
Yeah.
What was the name of the town?
Well, in a little village called Frank,
Frank.
near a bigger town named Saratov,
Saratov.
on the
Okay.
Volga.
Okay, let's go back to your dad. Your grandfather.
Well, my dad's father was born in Odessa, Russia, in 1843. It was sometime in August. I don't know the exact date.
Do you remember his parents' names? Well, your grandfather's name was what?
Henry Jacob.
Henry Jacob Sprenger. But you don't know his parents.
I don't know his parentage, except that his father was born in 1803 in Alsace-Lorraine.
Alsace-Lorraine.
A little country between Germany and France that changed hands several times during the France and German wars.
You don't know, is that a town? Was there a town?
I don't know. No, that's a country. That was a little country on the border of those two countries.
Okay. And then that's as far back as you know.
Yeah, yeah. On both my mother's side and my dad's side.
How about
Except my dad's mother. I wouldn't be sure about this, John, but yeah, it was. It was. His grandmother was born in St. Louis, which was my great-grandmother, and that was Grandma Hartman.
that was your
That was
Your
my
dad's-
dad's No, my dad's mother was born. I don't know where my dad's mother was born. It was someplace though around St. Louis.
Her maiden name is Hartman.
Yeah, my dad's mother.
Hartman.
Yeah,
Hartman.
yeah.
You don't know her name.
My dad, Christine.
That was your dad's mother's name.
Yeah.
Christine Hartman, and she was married to Henry Jacob Sprenger.
And her sister was married to his brother. Two brothers married two sisters. Two Sprenger boys married two Hartman girls. And that's where the double cousins came in. That's where my dad and Paul Springer's dad were double cousins.
Because his brother and sister. Okay.
Brother.
So that takes you back about as far as the genealogy that you know.
Yeah. Yeah, as far as
and I think Shirley has
what you call it. Now, their dad and mother was Frank Hartman.
Whose dad and mother?
No, wait a minute. No, those Hartman girls.
That'd be your great grandmother's parents that you're talking about now.
You know, it was my great grandmother. Yeah, it was Dad's great grandmother, wasn't it?
No, so far you've given me
grandmother.
Your dad was Fred Sprenger. His dad was Henry Jacob Sprenger, and he was married to a Hartman girl.
Yeah.
Okay, as far back as we went.
That's your grandfather.
And it was her father.
Her father.
It'd be his grandfather.
Yeah.
Grandmother and grandfather on the Hartman side. And he was the one. He's buried in Hastings. We were out there and saw his gravestone.
Where? What town?
Hastings.
Hastings, Nebraska.
Yeah, he's buried there.
And is there more than one cemetery there?
Oh, I imagine.
Who was
the old one?
Who's buried there?
Well, quite a few of the family now. This one I'm talking about is Frank Hartman. He was the
Frank Hartman.
He was the father
of
your
great
my dad's mother.
Yeah. Your great grandfather's.
Yeah.
Or your great grandmother's parents. His name was Frank
Hartman. Yeah.
And he lived in what town? Hastings?
Yeah, well, I don't know where they came originally. Where they were, I don't know where he was born.
Did he die there?
St. Louis.
He died there in Hastings?
Great grandmother Hartman was born in St. Louis.
See, his death certificate will have his birthplace in there.
Yeah. But
they're not always correct, but they'll have on there.
But he was the one that fought in the Mexican War in 47 and 48, and he went across the plains in 49, and he and another fella hit a gold strike, and I guess the other fellow beat him out of it. He came back broke. And then in 1861 he went in the Civil War and served 3 years in the heavy artillery in the Civil War.
Still talking about Hartman.
Frank Hartman. Yeah.
How about your great grandfather?
He was your father of my dad's mother.
Yeah. What can you remember of your grandparents? Did they live in Hastings, Nebraska when you were a boy? Your grandparents?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I was a boy, I was a very little boy when we left there. I didn't live there very long.
Did your
my dad's mother she died in the 90s. I never knew her, never saw her.
That was Marjorie?
No, that's Christine.
Christine, that'd be your great grandmother. No, that'd be your grandparents.
Yeah.
Your dad, yeah. Be my great grandparent. Okay. You don't remember her then, your grandmother.
Sprenger, no.
Did your grandfather, Henry? No. Yeah. Henry Sprenger? Did he come out with you?
Oh, yeah.
He came out to Tacoma?
Well, yeah.
He came to Tacoma with you?
Well, I don't know just what the circumstances were. I think he'd been out here before, and then came back, and then we came out then.
Okay, now,
We came to state in 1907.
came to Washington State in 1970.
Yeah.
Did you know your grandparents on your mother's side?
Yes, I remember both of them because we were back there in 1910.
Back where?
In Hastings. My mother and Thelma and I went back on a visit the summer of 1910, 3 years after we moved out here.
1910, so you were about 9 or 10 years old then.
Well, I was only 1910. I was
You were born in 1903?
6.5 that summer. Yeah.
That's
I wasn't 7 until that fall.
right. Was that one of the only times that you saw?
Yeah,
They
that's
were
all. That's the only time I ever saw.
That was Grandma and Grandpa Getman.
Right.
What did he do for a living?
Harness maker.
Harness maker?
Yeah, and he made boots. Mother said that he used to make those real soft leather boots that they wore in Russia, clear up to their knees. It's like kid gloves.
Yeah.
He made those, and then he was a harness maker, a leather.
What did your grandfather Sprenger do?
He was a blacksmith.
He was a blacksmith, and your
Yeah,
dad was.
remember he showed you those pictures of him in the blacksmith shop.
So,
And his name, my grandfather Getman's name was Jacob.
Jacob Getman. And
I asked Thelma up to the picnic the other day, and she said she thought Grandma Getman's name was Margaret.
Margaret
Yeah,
Getman.
I wouldn't. I'm going to check with Frida on that, though.
Frida.
Frida Amon, not Frida Amon. Well, that was her maiden. That was her maiden name,
Yeah.
Frida Amon. But she's Frida Childs.
Yeah.
They lived in Bridgeport, Nebraska. We visited them there when we were back there, '69. But they moved out of the old home place, and they're living in Scotts Bluff, Nebraska, in Veterans Home.
Did your dad have any brothers and sisters?
Yeah. Yeah, he had Uncle George and Philip, and he had 2 sisters.
Problem, do you know their names?
I'm sure, Aunt Emma and Aunt Lizzie.
And they married,
They were married, yeah.
what were their married names?
Well, Aunt Lizzie married a man by the name of Frank Adelman, and Aunt Emma married a fellow by the name of Fred Reamer.
He just died here recently.
Yeah, he just died here. Recently he was, what they figure, how old he figured he was?
I don't know, 90.
Didn't she, oh, she sent us that, what you call it? Did we keep it?
What, yeah?
How about
they put the Scottish Rite people, Lodge puts out a list every year of deceased brothers, and he was among them for just the year of 1976. I think it lapsed over 76, 77. I wouldn't be sure about that, but anyway. Oh, I don't know how, I don't remember now how old we figured he was. Did you remember, Mom? Well, anyway, Aunt Emma was younger than Dad. And I think Aunt Lizzie was oldest, then Uncle George, and then Dad, and then Emma, and then Philip. He was the youngest. They had a younger brother, but he died when he was small.
How small?
I don't know, 6 years old, something like that. 4 or 6, something.
You don't remember his name?
No, I don't remember his name.
How about now?
I remember Jed. I remember Jed. Slips away from me now. I can't remember.
Grandma Getman. In her family.
Her maiden name was Hupp.
Who's Hupp?
Hopp. H-O-P-P.
Whose maiden name was Hop?
My grandmother Getman's maiden name was
Oh,
Hopp.
okay. That's where Johnny Hop came from, the
Right.
baseball player.
From that branch of the family, yeah.
That was Johnny Hop must have been one of her brother's sons. Even
Yeah.
maybe later than that, huh?
Yeah, or
Well,
maybe a cousin's, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Your mother, Anna Getman.
Yeah,
What was her brothers and sisters? She have any?
yeah. She had 3 brothers, 2 sisters. Yeah. There was 3 brothers. It was Jake and Henry and John. And the sisters were Kate, that's his cousin Frida's mother, and Mary, and my mother. There's 3 girls in the family.
Now, wasn't there a Getman baseball player?
Yeah, that's her brother, Jake.
Jake Getman.
Mm-hmm.
He's a professional.
Yeah. He held a record that he and Roger Hornsby and somebody else, I've forgotten the name, held for 12 years, or a number of years, I don't know how long. But the record was 12 straight hits and 12 times at bat. And 5 of them were off of Cy Young. You've heard of him.
Yeah. Wasn't he quite a base stealer, Getman?
Yeah, he was fast on his feet.
Yeah.
And he was a switch hitter. And a
Okay.
pretty good hitter. He had a lifetime record when he retired of over 300.
Yeah, that's good. Let's go now to how old were you when you left Nebraska? Did you leave Nebraska and come to White Swan?
Oh, Tacoma.
You went right to Tacoma.
Yeah. Well, I was.
Okay, so then you went. How'd you go by? How kind of transportation did you use? And you were what? Very young, 2, 3 years old.
Well, I was between 3 and 4. We came out in September of 1907, and in the next month in October, I was 4 years old.
Came by train.
Yeah.
And your grandfather and your dad worked as blacksmith, or did they own their own blacksmith shop in Hastings?
Dad did, yeah.
Didn't you tell me they're in Hastings, or?
Well, he worked in the shop with his dad because that's where he learned his trade, from his dad.
In Hastings.
Yeah.
Okay, now didn't you tell me that they used to shoe Frank James's horse for him?
No, no. Dad went with a fellow that had a string of running horses. One summer, I guess he just kind of took a vacation for a couple of weeks or something like that. And this fellow took these horses down into Kansas. And Frank James was a starter at one of those racetracks where they run their horses. Dad went along and kept the horses' feet trimmed and their shoes on them, kept them shod, and so forth.
This would have been after Frank James then probably received amnesty.
Oh yes, he
Amnesty,
was out and free, yeah.
Of course, when Jesse was dead then. You never said much more about it than that.
No, I remember.
So then you came out to Tacoma,
Yeah,
and as a young boy you used to have a paper route.
yeah.
Grandpa, I remember Grandpa used to say
Had
that
2 or 3 of them.
Grandpa was always quite proud of you. You always used to talk a lot about when we'd be alone down there working in the shop, and I'd be turning the crank on the old, on the forge.
On the blower.
Yeah, he always would tell me what a good boy you were and how you had a paper route. So, whereabouts did you grow up there in Tacoma?
Out in the south end of town.
Give us a little history of what you...
Well, we lived on K Street between 48th and 50th, South K, and I went to the Horace Mann and Whitman grade schools. We lived in those 2 districts at different times, and then I went my first year in Lincoln High School.
What was the size of that high school?
Well, that's a pretty good sized high school. Big one, I don't know. 1,000 students, something like that. I remember Granddad when the Masons laid the cornerstone of that building, and the Masons marched, and there was a couple of blocks of those fellows with their white aprons on, marched down. What was the name of that street?
You mean Masons, the guys that lay brick, that type of Mason?
No.
Masonic.
Free and accepted Masons. Yeah, Masonic Masons, yeah. And I remember Granddad had his little white apron on, and he marched in the...
Your dad was a Mason?
No, my dad wasn't. My granddad was.
Your granddad?
Yeah. When they laid the cornerstone. That's one of the things that Masons do, is lay the cornerstone of buildings. It's a real nice ceremony. In fact, they laid the cornerstone on the new St. Elizabeth Hospital. And
You mean if somebody wants a cornerstone laid, they'll come and do it for you?
yeah, Fred Sandos laid the cornerstone in the new post office, wasn't it? In Grandview this year. Yeah.
Well, give us a little history about some of the things you did when you was a boy, some of the things you remember there in Tacoma.
Nothing spectacular, nothing that I remember really outstanding.
What did you ever go down to the blacksmith shop and
Oh, yeah.
you ever shoe a horse or anything?
No.
You never had any urge to get into that kind of line of work?
No, not really. By the time I got big enough to think about something that I wanted to do, automobiles showed up and trucks. And
Is that why Granddad quit shoeing horses?
oh yeah,
There just wasn't any left to shoe.
not very many. No. All of the, he used to shoe the Tacoma Ice Company's horses and the brewery horses and big trucking company horses and fire horses.
Must have been a lot of blacksmiths and
Oh, there's a lot of blacksmith and horseshoeing shops here in Tacoma.
just like automobile shops.
Yeah,
Just about
yeah,
that.
like garages now. There are probably, I don't know, a dozen or 15 of them scattered around the outskirts and in town.
Would they have horses to rent and things like this, or
Huh?
like livery stables?
No. No, all those places. Those truck companies and all those other places, the firehouses, they stabled their horses right in the back end of and that's where they ran out and got under the harness. They were all trained. When that fire bell rang, they pushed the door open and or they released a latch or something by the time the fire bell rang. I forgot now just how they worked it, but the horses ran out and hit that door and it opened up and They all run out there, stood right under the harness. The harness hung from the ceiling on pulleys, and they just dropped the harness on them and buckled the belly bands and buckled the hames on them, collars, and out they went. They had the fire all set in those pumpers that run by steam. And they just, I suppose, give them a blast of kerosene or something, throw a match in, and by the time they got with coal on top of it and everything, they had a coal box on the side of them. By the time they got down the street a couple of boxes, why there's black smoke rolling out of it. You've seen pictures of those old ones. I've seen them run the fires a lot of times. It's quite a sight. 3 pretty good sized horses to pull those pumpers. And man, did they love to run.
They had them just, they had them
3 abreast.
Abreast, yeah. Well, then when you left Tacoma, you went to Lincoln, and then what was the other school you went to?
Well, the 2 grade schools that went to Lincoln and Whitman and
Horseman.
Oh, Horseman High School? No.
Horseman, the grade school, yeah. That old building's torn down. So is the old Whitman School building torn down. Modern buildings there now. And 1 year to Lincoln High School, and then we moved over here. The spring of 1919. We came over in an immigrant car.
What's that?
Well, that's when you put your stock and your household goods all in one car. That was our case anyway.
You just more or less
There's
rented
special rates on it, you know.
You got out at Toppenish,
Yeah,
and you put everything on a wagon.
yeah.
Did you have to rent the wagon, or did you have your
No,
own?
we had a wagon.
You had your own
Brought
wagon.
that wagon over, yeah. Yeah.
Would you have to buy some horses, or did you have horses already?
We hauled them. We had bought a team over there
Why you
from
when
the
you
Tacoma Ice Company.
Oh,
Mark and Luke.
what would horses sell for in those days?
Oh, I think we paid around 200 or 225 for that team.
Yeah.
Big gray team. They were old because Dad didn't want, a fellow wanted to sell him a pair of young mares. Dad said, "Oh, I don't want any young horses." He said, "The boy's going to have to drive them." And he says, "I want good, gentle horses." And he bought this Mark and Luke from the Ice Company. And they were gentle. He could drive them.
By that time, Thelma and Jen were both born. I mean,
Oh,
Thelma,
yeah.
of course, was born because she's not.
Yeah.
What is she? How old is
Thelma was, well, let's see, Thelma was 13 years old when we moved over here.
Mhm.
Or
So
12.
Actually, she was.
And Jen was just 3 and a half.
Yeah. What's Thelma's full name?
What is her name?
You know what Jen's is? Hers is Genevieve.
Yeah.
There's Thelma's.
Genevieve's Lucille. Genevieve Lucille. I think it is.
Thelma
I don't know
Margaret?
her middle name now. I can't remember.
Margaret?
Thelma Marguerite?
Do you know their birth dates?
Yeah.
Where was Thelma born? In Hastings?
Yeah. She was only 9 months old when we came out here.
She was born in Hastings, Nebraska.
Yeah.
What's the date?
November, the 8th of November, isn't it? Yeah. 8th of November.
8th of November, 1906.
6.
She was born in Hastings, Nebraska.
Yeah.
Okay,
Dan was born, or Ann.
Thelma. Or
Jen was born in Tacoma, 23rd day of July, 1915.
Do you know where she was born?
Yeah, she was born at home in the front bedroom.
At between 40th and 50th?
4836 South K Street.
4836 South K. Born front bedroom there.
That's right. Doc Hards delivered her.
Dr. who?
Hards.
Hards?
Yeah.
H-A-R-D-S, Hards.
And,
You see, if I ever look at the original papers, you see, these names will verify, and then you'll know that you have the right, because there's probably a lot of Thelma Sprengers and Jen Sprengers, you know, that you might run across. It's amazing, the duplications.
Oh, yeah.
I'll have to ask Jen will probably know.
Going to ask for a hospital, you know, and then a lot of times they got hospital.
Shouldn't know that.
Well, listen, you don't remember anything outstanding there, and you had a paper route there? At
Oh, yeah, I had
what
several
age?
different paper routes.
You kind of enterprising young man? I mean, you was always out trying to make a quick
I
buck.
was up on the come.
Used to run the washing machine for his mother.
All right. What'd you have? A handling?
Yeah, whatever. You run it back and forth.
Oh, I see. And then
Turned the thing in there like this.
yeah, agitator.
Yeah.
Well, then you remember you had ice boxes and of course and all the things.
Probably a cooler over on the floor.
Yes, it was a cooler. No, we didn't have it. I don't remember my folks owning an ice box till they came over east of the mountains.
A cooler. What was this? A cool spot?
It was just a cupboard was built in the side of the house, and they had screen vents at the bottom and the top, and the shelves in there had holes in there, and that cool air went up and out the top. And well, your aunt probably had too.
Well, how'd you store
you keep
meat?
butter?
How did you store meat?
Well, they
Not
didn't
very
store
long.
much. They didn't store much meat those days.
What did you do? Just go to the market to get your meat?
Yeah, meat was cheap. My gosh, they'd give you liver,
Well, he lived
and
right
they'd give you
down.
a soup bone, and Mother'd send me down to the meat market. Dad shod his horse, this guy that ran the meat market. He'd deliver meat. He would call on people in the morning, get their orders, or else they'd call in on the phone.
And they'd butcher that day.
Butcher.
Oh, they had refrigerators.
They had refrigerators, walk-in refrigerators. And
What did they use? Ice?
I don't know what they had in those freezer. I imagine it was a refrigeration system.
It wasn't.
Expansion.
It just wasn't. It was available, but it wasn't practical for the home.
Didn't have
They didn't need them over there.
Yeah.
They didn't. Of course, everybody's got a refrigerator now.
So what happened when this guy shot? When Granddad shot this guy's?
Well, I'd go down there and get meat, and they'd put it on the bill, and then they settled up at the end of the month when whoever owed who. That if we owed them for meat, boy, it was more than what his blacksmith bill was. Boy, that was it.
Often
And
with
he
the
always
shoe
his name was Peacock, and I can see that place just as clear now. And he always gave me a nice big weenie to eat on the way home, the wiener. He always called me blacksmith. I'd go in there. Whoa, blacksmith, what can I do for you today?
Did they have sawdust floors?
Yeah,
The old days when they had
yeah.
big glass.
Usually, they very seldom. They had meat cut in the showcase like they do now, did they? They'd cut you off what you
It
wanted.
was cut to order.
Yeah, they just step in the cold box there and come out with a hind quarter or a front quarter or whatever cut you wanted, and cut it off right there. Pork chops the same way. Go in and get a big loin of pork
And
chops.
how long would you keep your meat then?
Probably, that was what they cooked for the day.
Cooked it that way.
Yeah.
Okay, so you just, yeah. Certainly a lot of different foods on the market today that you never heard of in those days. A lot of canned. Did people canned things?
Oh, yeah, my mother canned fruit.
How about vegetables?
Everybody did. Not so many vegetables.
Because you didn't have pressure cookers then.
No. No. Canned stuff was cheap, you know, canned vegetables, beans.
They had canning processes, business type, by that time. Commercial.
Oh, yeah.
Canning.
Yeah. Canned peas and canned beans. Corn. Canned corn.
Were there,
I remember my folks always used to buy green canned corn. Whole kernel corn didn't come out until later, did it?
No.
It was always cream, canned cream. Man, I just always loved that canned cream corn.
did they light the street lights in those days at night? Or did you have regular street lights, or did they go around lighting them, you know?
No, they had those old arc lights.
Electric?
It used it used a big long piece of that black carbide in them, you know.
Well, then you moved to Toppenish, and you unloaded everything right there and onto your wagon, and then you went to White Swan. Well, what
No,
kind
not
of?
White Swan. We were just part way out from White Swan. We lived on Toppenish Creek, south of Old Mud Lake, and south of the Fort Road. And we were there 2 years, I think it was.
Where did you go to school then?
I didn't go to school. I was farming with Dad.
You were then that would be your 15th and 16th year.
Yeah.
And
17.
you just farmed and sold the produce.
You know, that place didn't pan out very good. It didn't have irrigation water, and
Too dry.
yeah, not enough water. And so Dad moved up to Titan View.
And that's when I can remember going up there. Is that the same? Oh no, it'd be a different house. What did he do then? What you helped him farm? You plowed and did a whole bit. What did you do? Buy farm equipment and everything to do it with?
Well, we had some, sure. Plow and the harrow and the disc and
Tractor hand.
Your granddad liked this kind of work? Did you enjoy it? Or was
my
it?
dad.
Yeah.
Well, he was raised on a farm in Nebraska.
Yeah.
He always wanted to get back on the farm.
Yeah.
And of course, after horseshoeing went sour in Tacoma, why then that's when he moved over there. And,
But he didn't. It was kind of a bad 2 years, huh?
yeah, disastrous.
Kind of hungry.
Well, we managed to keep bought and sold together.
Yeah.
And the second year, Dasher built a house on that place for us.
Would you live in the first year?
The first year, the folks stayed
Yeah.
in town with the Dashers, and Thelma went to school in there. And then,
In Toppenish?
no, it was the fall of that first year he built the house. And Dad and I lived in the tent in one end of the barn out there the first
Lived in a tent
spring
in the
and
barn?
summer. Yeah.
Well, then what did you guys buy the land or did
No,
did
he
you
still owned it. They just had a
lease?
lease deal
Deal.
on it.
Well, then you moved to Tieton. What did you do up there?
Titan View,
Tieton View.
that's out above Harwood, west of Yakima. And that was a kind of a poor place too, that belonged to a cousin's husband. she was a cousin to Dad, and he was a real estate man there in Yakima, and he had this 100 acres. And when this other deal went sour, why he talked Dad into coming up there, and it was out in that Titan View country, and part of it was scab land, not worth a hoot. The top of it was had probably 15, 20 acres of good ground on the bottom, about the same amount, and things were rough then. We had hay, and they were selling hay for $7.50 a ton baled on board the car. That was in 21.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got a job working for American Fruit Growers, the spring of 22, I think it was, and he stayed with them about 4 years, I guess it was.
How long did you farm this land there at Titan View?
I think just 2 seasons. We moved up there in the spring and moved off, I think, a year in the following fall.
Okay, so this puts you at about 17 then, doesn't it?
Yeah, 17 or 18, yeah. Yeah. Going on 19. Then after Dad gave up that place, well, I worked out different places. And
Doing what?
Anything and everything. The summer of I worked in picking fruit and worked in the orchard up there for the American Fruit Growers. And then, when was it? Spring of 22. Yeah, the spring of 1922, I worked on Rimrock Dam when the core wall in it was 100 feet below the surface of the river. They had to go that far to find bedrock. At least that's what someone told me up there. Yeah, I worked up there about a month that spring and came back down and worked around the orchards there till summer. And then I went down here in the harvest in eastern Oregon. This the summer of 22, and we moved up to the Palouse country, and I worked for a fellow harvesting up there.
Granddad moved there too?
No,
Oh.
just another fellow and I, just bumming on.
When you worked on the Rimrock Dam, is that when you got to know
Granger?
Granger?
No.
Oh.
No, I didn't know him till the summer of 26. Then that fall I started, when I was working there for that outfit in Palouse country, I went into Pullman and got some information on their elementary science department where you could finish your high school work. And then that fall of 22 I started there. And I went, altogether I went 6 semesters. Finished my high school and
The equivalent of about 3 years.
yeah, but we took heavy loads. I carried 22 hours and a half one semester. Now work too. I had to.
Yeah. So you finished your high school there?
Yeah.
Plus, it was probably an advanced high school situation. And you got a lot of college at it too?
I got a year, so
1 year of college in amongst all the other.
yeah.
And then what'd you do? Is that then when you came out?
Let's see. I came out, worked with Dad on the ranch there At White Swan for a while, and then
How did he get back on this ranch in White Swan? While you were working around, he moved?
Yeah.
What ranch was that?
Johnson place.
He was running it for the guy? Or he bought it, or?
Yeah, he was running it for a fellow that bought it.
Uh,
It was known as the Johnson place, and a Seattle man bought it, and Dad was running it for him, or rented it, or they had some kind of some share deal. What's that light up there?